I'm Jenna and welcome to your Foundations class. For today's class, we'll be using a strap, and this can be substituted with a dog leash, a towel, a tie, a belt, anything really that's just long and that you can grip. And perhaps a block. This is going to be up to you depending on the tightness in your hamstrings and your hips. So if you have 2 blocks, feel free to get 2 blocks. Otherwise, 1 block should be plenty. And this is my dog, Layla. Hi. And let's get started by laying down on your back. So go ahead and come to lay down on your back. Turn these lights. Keep the strap someplace nearby. And then take your knees bent with your feet flat on the floor and take your feet wide. Let your knees knock in towards one another. And then take one hand on your low belly right below the belly button and one hand on your chest. And if it feels like when you take your hand on your chest, your elbow is elevated, then take both hands on your belly so that your upper body can relax down. Tuck the shoulder blades just a little bit underneath your chest so you feel a slight broadening across your chest. And then release the low back towards the floor. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Take a few more rounds of breath like that. Just feeling your body land on the mat. Feeling your breath arrive into your body. And arriving here into your practice. And beginning by just acknowledging that the practice of yoga is not just physical, but also requires concentration, focus, and a degree of letting go. Letting go of expectations, letting go of attachments to the way we think things should be, and letting go of trying to control things that we have no control over. Begin by just settling into your body. Settling into this present moment and noticing any sounds in your environment. Notice the space between those sounds. And now if you would like to set any personal intention for your practice or dedicate your practice to someone or something, feel free to set that now. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. Slowly start to blink your eyes open, wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then we'll find a hold of your strap and heel toe your feet a little closer together. And now take the strap around the bottom of your right foot, holding one end of the strap in each hand, straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling. And then you might keep the left leg bent with the foot flat, or you can straighten your left leg, taking the left foot, left heel to the floor. Now from here, softly push the heel up towards the ceiling, draw the toes down towards your face, and then gently pull on the strap, bringing your leg a little closer to your chest. Now as you do that, press your left calf into the floor so you feel your left quadricep muscle, the front of your thigh, get firm. One more breath here. Maybe pulling that leg slightly closer. And then bring the both ends of the strap into your right hand. And then carry your right leg out to the right. Left hand can come onto the front of your hip to keep it grounded. So try to keep your left hip on the floor. Maybe even keep pressing the left calf into the floor. And then pull the right leg towards your face, opening up the more inner hamstring and the inner groin. Take one more breath. Now slowly carry that right leg back up through center up to the ceiling. Switch hands on the strap. Take your right thumb into the hip crease of your right thigh and then press that hip crease down. Now carry the right leg a little bit across your body, just in line with your left shoulder. Now push the right hip crease down again until you feel the stretch across your IT band, which is a tendon that runs along the outside of your right thigh and connects into your kneecap. So you should feel like a strong pulling sensation across the outer thigh, knee, maybe a little bit into the back of the knee. One more breath. Now slowly bring that leg back up through center. Bend the knee and release the strap, and then straighten both your legs. Place the strap to the side. Put your hands down. Relax for a moment. And just notice the difference from right to left. Notice if one leg feels a lot longer or shorter than the other. If one leg feels lighter, heavier, colder or warmer. And now we'll set up for the second side by bending both of your knees. Take your feet flat first. Now take the strap around the bottom of your left foot. Straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Now from here you might straighten your right leg along the mat, only if that feels okay in your low back. Now gently tug on that left leg, keeping that leg nice and straight, pushing the heel up towards the ceiling, toes down towards your face. Now if your right leg is straight, press the heel into the floor. Press the right calf towards the floor or into the floor until you feel your right quadricep muscle firm up the front of your right thigh. And then one more breath, pulling that left thigh gently closer towards your face. Now bring that leg back up through center. Take both strap in your left hand and carry the left leg up and out to your left, keeping the right hand maybe on top of your right thigh to keep that hip grounded. Now from here, pull the left leg continuously towards your torso as you keep pushing the right thigh down towards the floor until you feel that quadricep muscle firm again. Take one more breath. And now bring that leg back through center. Switch hands on the strap. Take your left thumb into your left hip crease and push it down. It's a pretty intense push down until you feel the strap, that end hip drop. And now carry the left foot in line with your right shoulder. Pulling continuously the leg towards you, left hip down. Take one more breath. Now bring that left leg back through center. Bend your leg, remove the strap. And now straighten out both of your legs. Move the strap to the side. Straighten out both your arms back behind you. Point your toes and get really long. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, hug the knees into the chest, lifting your upper back and your forehead towards your knees. Inhale, straighten the legs forward, arms back, maybe hovering the heels in your arms. And with an exhale, hug knees to chest, curling into a tiny ball. Inhale to open wide. Move slow to resist gravity. Clench the glutes. Exhale, curl and rounding up. Two more. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl in. Last time, inhale, opening up wide. And exhale, curling in. Now from here, tap your feet to the floor, keeping your knees bent. Lower your upper back and your head down. And now take the hands alongside your hips with the palms face down on the ground. Slip the thumbs a little bit underneath your low back and your butt, and then straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. Both legs are moving up to the ceiling. They might not straighten all the way, but flex the toes towards your face. Try to straighten your legs if you can. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, lower the legs a third of the way towards the floor. Pressing the low back towards the floor, take a breath in. And lower the legs another third of the way down. Take a big breath in, pressing low back down. Lower just a halfway more towards the floor. Pause, hold. And now slowly bring the legs all the way back up. Now this time, lower your right leg only towards the floor. Right heel hovers, flexing both of the toes towards you. And then lift the right leg back up to join the left. Lower the left leg down towards the floor, hover, flex the toes, quad is firm, bring the left leg back up. Right leg lowers again. Maybe you release the hands and you reach forward, lifting the upper back and your head off the floor. Right leg comes up, left leg reaches down towards the floor. Feet are flexed, left leg up, right leg down. 2 more each side. Inhale up, left leg down. 1 more time, right leg down. Hold, feeling that burn in your belly. Right leg up, left leg down. And then bring both legs up, bend the knees, hug the knees into the chest, rock a little side to side. Nice. Now take the hands behind the backs of your thighs, find a little rock and roll up and down your spine. If that doesn't feel good, you can always roll over onto one side and press up into a tabletop position, which is where we'll meet. So find a tabletop position. If you'd like a blanket underneath your knees, please feel free to go ahead and find a blanket or something soft underneath your knees. Fingers pointing forward. And then from here, we'll bend the elbows straight out right to left. Knees are hip-width distance underneath you, fingers spread wide. So elbows are just slightly bent out right to left. And then from here, hug the elbows back behind you. So now the eyes of the elbows point forward. And then straighten the arms. Turn the elbows out, bend them out straight right to left. And then round them in, back going towards your ribs as you straighten the arms. And take just a couple more of that. Bend the elbows out right and left. Curl them in as you press back up, straightening the arms. Take 2 more, bending right and left. Hug the elbows into the midline, press up. Last time, elbows bend right and left. Hug them in towards the midline and press up. Now from here, walk the hands just a little bit further forward and then shift your shoulders over your wrists. So now you're in a mini plank pose. And now from here, rather than bending the elbows right and left, we're going to bend them straight back just a quarter of the way. So you feel them moving in towards your ribs and keep the chin back. Now press back up into this modified plank, arms are straight. Try to keep the eyes of the elbows moving forward as you bend a quarter of the way. Maybe lower a little bit more, resisting gravity. Press back up. 1 more time, lowering a quarter of the way. Hold. And then press back up. Nice job. That's called Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always take it with your knees down or with your knees lifted when you're practicing yoga. Walk the hands back underneath your shoulders. You're in a tabletop. From here, reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And with an exhale, thread it underneath your left ribs, reaching to the left, placing your right shoulder and your right ear down. I'm going to switch sides so you can see. Now from here, you can crawl the left fingers forward if you'd like. You can also step the left foot out to the side, toes pointing towards the front of your mat. Hold here for a breath, grounding into the outer edge of your left foot if that leg is straight. Now bring that left hand back down by your face. Come back into your tabletop, bring both your legs back together. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. From here, reach your left arm up to the ceiling, opening up. And with an exhale, thread it underneath you, coming to rest on your left shoulder, left ear. Same variations, right arm can reach forward, right leg can step out to the right, toes pointing towards the front of your mat. Grounding into the outer edge of your right foot if that leg is straight, feeling that similar sensation, that stretch across your IT band, the back of your knee. 1 more breath. Now bring that right hand back down under your face, press up onto both your hands, come back into your tabletop position. Now finding a few cat-cows. With an inhale, drop the belly, look up, lift your tailbone. And with an exhale, press the hands down, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. A couple more with your breath. Inhaling into your cow. And exhaling into your cat, that rounded flexion of your spine. Couple more with your breath. Continue to move, maybe close the eyes. Coming back to that more subconscious, that more subtle aspect practice of yoga, that's concentration, focus, union of body, breath, and mind. Take 1 more round here of your cat-cow. Now from here, we'll come into a neutral tabletop position and lower onto your forearms in your tabletop. Pivot your hands in towards your elbows, and if you can touch your elbows, then that's good. It means your elbows are shoulder width distance, and then bring your hands flat. Now bring your palms into prayer, keeping the elbows shoulder width distance. Wiggle your knees a little further back, or straighten your legs back into a forearm plank. Looking right at your thumbs. From here, draw the tailbone a little towards your heels, draw the belly button up. We're holding here for 20 seconds. Press into your forearms, press into the balls of your feet. Feel the quadriceps, front of your thighs firm. And then lift your breastbone slightly forward so you're not too rounded in that low back. Neutral spine, holding here 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, last one, slowly lower the knees down. Nice job. Find a child's pose, bring the knees wide, hips to the heels, walk the hands forward. Bring your forehead down to the floor or to that block if the forehead doesn't reach the floor. And you can either keep the arms actively reaching forward, or you can relax the forearms down to the mat. Even the arms back behind you is an option here. Take a few breaths into the back of your body, feeling the back of your body just gently rise and fall. Coming back to your intention, back to your breath. And then from here, we'll slowly come into your tabletop position. And then from here, we'll come up to stand on your shins. So walk your hands in towards you and then come up to stand on your shins. Bring your hands onto your hips and now straighten your right leg out to the right with the toes pointing forward. Now from here, take your right hand down inside your right leg with the palm facing forward. Take your left arm up towards the ceiling and find a gentle side bend over your straight leg. Now to encourage more opening across your chest, look under your left bicep and then pivot that left shoulder slightly back. Ground into the outer edge of your right foot. Take one more breath in. One more breath out, stay. With the breath in, come all the way back up. Bring the hands onto your hips. Bring both your knees back together. Now bring your left leg out to the left, toes pointing forward again. Left arm inside your left leg, palm faces forward, right arm reaches up. Find a side bend over your left leg now. Using your gaze to turn underneath your armpit to turn your chest a little bit more in that direction as you ground into the outer edge of your left foot. One more breath. Stay for your exhale. This is called gate pose. Inhale, come all the way back up. Bring the hands to the hips, bring both your knees back together, and then take your hands back onto the floor. And now we'll find a downward facing dog. Walk the hands a little bit forward, tuck the toes, take your hips up and back. And then from there you can pedal out the feet a little bit, dropping one heel as you bend the opposite knee. Keep the fingers grounding here. Inner wrist has a little bit more weight because the thumb has a bigger muscle there. So ground into your thumbprint, ground into your index finger, and then spin the eyes of the elbows slightly forward, just like we did before in tabletop. So you feel your outer upper arms hug slightly in, and then as you do that, ground into your thumb again. Take one more breath in, one more breath out. Now slowly walk your feet up to your hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. And then walk the hands onto the shins, coming halfway up. Bend your knees and arch your back and draw the shoulder blades back. And with an exhale, find a forward fold. Hips come high as the forehead comes towards your shins. Come halfway up with an inhale. Rock the weight slightly forward. And then again, folding down over your legs. It's almost like a cat-cow. Inhale, halfway up. Pause here. Press into your feet and then reach the arms around and up to the ceiling with a big breath in. Look up at your thumbs. And with the breath out, bring the hands down to heart center. Right. Now from here, we're going to practice a little bit of a balance here. So you have the option to come to a wall, or you can use, I like to use a broomstick as well. I forgot to leave my broomstick in here, but you can hold on to it in one of your hands and the other hand can be on your hip. So we'll start first with your right leg in tree pose. So go ahead and come to stand on your mat in the middle. And then come onto the ball of your right foot. And then turn, actually let's come into it a different way today. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Now if you're using a broomstick, use it in your left hand. From here, we'll draw that right knee in towards your chest, finding your balance. Now take your right hand onto the shin or the knee. And then slowly carry that right leg out to the right, reach your left arm out to the left or onto that broomstick if you have it for support. Flex your right toes, press into your left foot until you feel the quadricep muscle nice and firm. Now from here, we're coming into a tree pose. So you can either put that foot onto your inner calf, or you can hold on to it with your right hand and place it on the inner thigh. Now you're either holding onto that broomstick. I don't know why I'm still holding the invisible broomstick over there. Bring your hands to heart center in your tree pose. Press into your left foot firmly into the big toe mound. Just like in your hand, the big toe has the biggest muscle there. So ground into your big toe. Feel your outer hip firm in. Feel your left quadricep firm up. Now lift the breastbone a little into your thumbs. Take 2 more breaths here. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Now slowly we'll step your feet back together into your Tadasana mountain pose. Arms alongside your body and close the eyes for a moment. Notice the difference from right side of your body to the left. Starting with your feet, feel if one foot feels heavier or more grounded. And then slowly open up the eyes. Now, the lighting just got way better. Let's take the hands onto the hips. Now if you're using that broomstick, take it out into your right hand off to the right. Hands on the hips. Draw the left knee in towards your chest or stay on the ball of that left foot to start until you find your balance. Flex the left toes. Now take your left hand onto the knee or the shin. Carry the left leg out to the left. Reach the right arm out to the right or take it onto that broomstick further out to the right. So as you push the knee into your hand, you reach the arm out to the side. Nice, that'll help you find your balance. Pressing into the right foot until you feel that quad firm, and now we'll find your tree pose, either slipping the foot onto your calf, or you can hold on to it and take it on your inner thigh, hands to heart center. If you need that balance, feel free to keep the hand there. Press into your right foot, press into the big toe until you feel the quadricep firm in. You should feel this outer hip also kind of firm in towards your midline, and then pull the left thigh gently back behind you until you feel your left glute fire up. Lift the thumbs into the breastbone, take 2 more breaths. Vrikshasana. And then slowly we'll step the feet back together, Tadasana mountain pose. Great job. Shake out your feet if you got a little ankle cramp or something. And we'll take another balance here. And this is a place where if you want to use blocks for your practice, go ahead and take your 1 or 2 blocks to the front of your mat so that they're there when you need them. And we'll do this balance at the front of your mat, facing the front. So from here, bring the hands onto your hips. If you're using the broomstick, you'll have it in your left hand or left hand on the wall. From here, draw the right knee in towards your chest, flexing the right toes. Now from here, take your left hand onto the right knee, below the shin or on the kneecap. And then slowly keep your gaze forward at first. Sorry, I think I said to take the broomstick in your left hand. It should be in your right hand. Slowly we'll draw the right shoulder back, keeping your gaze forward into the twist. Reach your right arm behind you. Now from here, ground into the foot so your left leg is really strong. Flex your right toes. And then you might choose to slowly bring your gaze towards your back hand. Take 1 more breath. Now with control, slowly unwind. Bring the hands to heart center, keeping the right leg lifted. And now slowly step back into a high lunge. Wiggle your left foot a little to the left. Take your arms up towards the ceiling. Now from here, we'll take the hands down to the floor. And this is where you might choose to use a block or 2 blocks. So if you have tight hamstrings, then go ahead and find a block underneath your hands. And then from here, we'll straighten your left leg and then slowly rebend it. And then just do that 2 more times. Inhale to straighten as much as you can. Draw that right hip back, that left hip back, and then slowly rebend. 1 more time, straightening. And then slowly rebend. And now we'll tap your back knee down to the floor, your mat or a blanket. And we'll find half splits with that left leg. Flex your left toes, and again, block might come in handy here. And keeping those left toes flexed, walk the hands to the outside or the block to the outside of your left leg. Now turn the left pinky toe towards the floor like you were just moving your leg counterclockwise from your hip socket until you feel that stretch in your outer IT band along the outside of your left thigh. Now if you can move the block to the side, You might take this a little deeper by bending your elbows and bowing your chest a little more. Take one more breath. Now turn those left toes back to the ceiling, frame your front foot, rebend your front knee, tuck your toes, lift your back leg, and step forward to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Come halfway up with an inhale, strong legs here, and then exhale to fold down over your legs. Inhale, root to rise, sweeping the arms all the way around and up, and then bring the hands back down to heart center. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So if you're using that broomstick, now it will for real be in your left hand. Bring the hands to your hips. Slowly draw that left knee in towards your chest. Flex the left toes. Broomstick can be in your left hand or left hand on the wall. Take your right hand onto the shin or the kneecap. Press into your right foot. Press into the right big toe. Now, keeping your gaze forward, slowly turn your left shoulder behind you as you reach the left arm back. Now, keep flexing your left toes, pressing into your right foot, and you might slowly start to turn your gaze as well, slightly back towards your back thumb. Now, slowly we'll unwind, coming all the way back around. Bring the hands to heart center. And slowly step that left foot all the way back into a high lunge and heel toe your right foot a little to the right. Reach the arms up, take a big breath in. And with the breath out, bring the hands down to frame your right foot. Now this is again where you might find the block for tight hamstrings. With the breath in, look up, bend your right knee. And with the breath out, straighten your right leg and fold. Inhale, rebend your front knee, press into the ball of your left foot. And exhale to straighten and fold. One more time, inhaling, lift. And exhaling to straighten and fold. Now this time as you rebend your front knee, tap your back knee down and straighten your right leg into a half split, flexing the right toes. And then walk the block or your hands to the outside of your right leg. Now dial the right pinky toe towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch, mine doesn't. Not like I'm ideal or anything, but it's okay. Just go until you feel the stretch. That's what we're going for. Sensation, not an ideal pose. We're trying to experience the poses, not just survive them. So breathe, relax the jaw. Now slowly come all the way back around. Rebend your front knee, move the block to the side. Tuck your toes, lift your back leg, and step forward into a forward fold. Come halfway up with the breath in, and with the breath out, fold down over your legs. Breathe in as you circle the arms all the way around and up, filling up, and breathe out as you bring the hands down to heart center. Now from here, come to the middle of your mat. If there's a blanket there, you can move it. And we'll take a wide-legged stance. Block will be behind your right heel. Take a wide-legged stance. So if you were to take your arms wide, your feet are about the distance of your wrists. So if you were to drop a string to say, they would land on your outer ankles. Now from here, arms out to the side, reaching the fingers out to the side. Turn your left toes in slightly. Turn your right leg all the way out, and then bend and straighten your front knee a few times. And the next time you're bending your front knee, pause and hold. Take a look at your right knee and make sure you can see your big toe to the inside of your knee. So just like in tree pose, you're moving that right thigh back in space until you feel the right glute fire up, and then deepen the lunge in your front knee. Press into the outer edge of your left foot until you feel the inner thigh light up a little bit. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out, sinking a little bit deeper, holding for your breath here, looking right over your right index finger. Feel the breath moving. Feel the strength of your body holding you up as maybe you're starting to fatigue a little bit. Push yourself. Take one more breath. Now slowly straighten the right leg. Now surf your right hand forward, so now it's reaching past your right toes, and take the right hand down to the block behind your right leg. Left arm to the ceiling, or you can take your right hand down to the shin bone. Is it the shin bone? Just the shin. Look up at your top thumb and try to bring your right ribs a little closer towards your right hip. So you get a little longer, more space between your right ribs and your right hip. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. I think I might have mixed up my rights and my lefts there. Take one more breath in. Roll that eye of the elbow a little bit back. One more breath out, reaching the your left fingers, alongside your ear. Now soften your front knee, press into your feet, come all the way up. Bring the block with you if you're using it. Parallel your feet. And now turn your right toes in, turn your left leg all the way out, switch the block into the sand and take it to the other foot if you're using a block. And now just bend and straighten your front knee a little bit. If your arms are starting to get tired, turn the palms face up and bend your elbows slightly. Now the next time you're bending your front knee, keep the knee bent and pause there. Look at your left knee. Make sure you can see the left big toe to the inside of your left leg. And then deepen the lunge in your front knee, look over your left fingers. Take a few breaths here, feeling the strength in your back leg by pressing more into the outer edge of your back foot, and then deepening into your front knee. Feeling the shoulders nice and strong, core slightly, and take the tailbone a little towards the floor. 2 more breaths. You've got it. Now from here, we'll straighten your left leg. Surf your left fingers past your front foot and take the hand down to the shin or a block. Right arm straight to the ceiling, and then look up at your right thumb. Now try to create a little less space between your right ribs and your right hip by lengthening your left side body. Take one more big breath in. And as you breathe out, turn your right palm forward, reach the arm alongside your ear. And now soften your front knee, come all the way back up, and parallel your feet. Now from here, we'll take the hands onto the hips, soften your knees and hug the elbows back. Take an inhale, look up. Keeping the knees bent, hinge at your hips, forward fold until your hands can reach the floor or blocks. You can walk the hands between your legs so that they're in line with your heels, or a variation that's great for a tight low back is walking the hands forward like a super wide-legged downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here into your back body. Take one more breath here. And then slowly walk the hands back under your shoulders. Soften your knees, hands to the hips, and come all the way up to stand. And now heel toe your feet back together and come back to the front of your mat in Tadasana pose. Take the palms alongside your body, face them forward so the shoulders roll back. And with an inhale, sweep the arms up as you take the tailbone slightly towards the floor. And with an exhale, soft knees as you fold all the way down. Now in this forward fold, bend your knees. Take your peace fingers around your big toes and take your thumbs right to the top of where your big toenail stops growing. And now push into your big toe, into your fingers, and bend your knees. Find a halfway lift. Take a big breath in. Then as you exhale, hips come high. Bend the elbows right and left as you pull on your arms and push your big toe into your fingers. Find a halfway lift again. Bend the knees, lift the chest, pull on your fingers. And exhale to pull down, straightening the legs. One more time, bend the knees, lift the chest, big inhale. And exhale to pull yourself down. And now hold here for 2 breaths. Draw the shoulders slightly away from the floor. Let the crown of your head go. Slowly we'll release the peace fingers around your toes. Find a halfway lift with your breath in. And then bend the knees, take the hands down, step back into a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Now from here, join the legs together in your downward facing dog. And then lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Now bend your knee up in space and stack your right hip over the left. Flex your right toes and then roll out your ankle in one direction. And then switch directions. Now from here, we're going to tap the right knee to your right tricep. So pull your shoulders forward as you tap the right knee in, and then bring the right leg back up behind you. Right knee to right tricep again. Just tap, point your right toes. Inhale up and back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow, tap, and now step the right foot outside your right hand, and tap the left knee down to a blanket or to the floor. Now we're in a lizard pose here. You can choose to stay up nice and high on your hands, keeping your arms straight. You might lower onto a block or blocks on your forearms. Whatever feels best for you. I'm also going to give the option for a quad stretch, so if you'd like, sweep your right arm back and hold on to your left foot. Hugging that left heel in towards you, finding a little bit of a twist. Then you can lower again onto your left forearm on a block or on the floor if you have that degree of opening in your right quadricep. Left quadricep, excuse me. One more breath. Now slowly release the left leg if you have it. Bring your hands back down in between your right leg. And now tuck your left toes, lift your left leg, and sweep the right leg up and back, opening the hip again. And now we'll step the feet back together into your downward facing dog with your legs together. Now lift your left leg up, bend your left knee and stack the left hip over the right, flex the toes, and then roll out your ankle in one direction, and switch directions. Now with your next exhale, left knee to left tricep, give it a little tap if you can, point the left toes. Inhale, take the leg up and back. Exhale, hug the leg in and tap. Inhale, leg up and back. Last time, hug it in and look to the left hand, step the foot outside your left hand. Tap your right knee down to the mat. Maybe find your block or blocks if you'd like to lower down further, or maybe lifting your torso a little higher feels good on the left side. If you'd like that quadricep muscle stretch, you can reach your left hand back and hold your right top of your foot, and then hug the heel in towards your sit bone. You might lower down onto your right forearm if you have that opening today. Now we'll slowly release that right foot if you have it. Come back up onto your hands. Tuck your right toes, lift your right leg, and sweep the left leg up. Again, opening the hip for a moment. And then stepping back into your downward facing dog. Now from here, we'll tap the knees down to the mat and shift the shins to one side. We'll come to sit with the legs out in front of you. Sorry if I look at the computer weird every once in a while. I'm trying to see the time. I think I need to find a stopwatch or something. So come to sit with the legs out in front of you. And we'll draw the right knee in towards your chest. I'm going to do the same side as you. I can never figure out with the recording what is mirroring or not because it's reversed, which makes it even more confusing. So sometimes if you're not sure and you're looking at me and it doesn't look like I'm on the side you think I am, you're probably right. Hold on to your right foot with your left hand on the knee, and find a little rock the baby. So this is the right leg we're doing, even if it appears to you as the left. I will get that the more I record. We're all just getting better at this over time. Now, if this feels like you could take it a step further, you might slip your right heel into the crook of your left elbow and then wrap your arms around that leg. I'm just giving you a little rock side to side. Now from here, take your right hand onto the floor so you can roll over onto the right glute and then roll in some little circles there. You can close your eyes, but just feel how this massage feels on this side. There might be some tenseness, some soreness. You can lower onto your forearm behind you if you'd like to get a little more towards the back of the pelvis. Shout out to Cindy with this. This is her favorite. And Richard, obviously. And now from here, we'll come back up onto both your sit bones and now release the foot and straighten out both your legs. Now lean back for a moment, close your eyes and just notice the difference from right to left. Slowly blink your eyes open. Bring the shoulders over hips. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Draw the left leg in. Hold the left heel in your right hand. Left hand on the knee. Find a little rock side to side. If you feel like you can take it a little deeper, slip the left ankle into your right, or left arch of your foot into your right elbow and rock there. Well, since I'm doing shout outs, I don't know who watches these because I don't see the sign in or anything, but I really miss a lot of the regulars that I used to see. Kim and Kelly, Shelly, Sheila, Jean, of course. Haven't seen Jean in so long. I miss you all so much. If you're watching, hi. Take your left hand to the floor and roll around on that left hip a bit. Who else? Anna and her mom, Dagmar. William, aka Sheila. Miss you all. We're gonna have the best party. Close the eyes and just feel if there's any place that feels real tender in here, and just try to breathe through it as you massage it out. And slowly we'll start to come all the way back up and straighten out your left leg. Take your hands behind you, lean back, close your eyes. Just feel the difference from right to left. And we'll come back up to shoulders over hips. Draw the right knee in again here. But this time take the right foot flat. And now we'll take your left hand over the ankle to the outside of your right foot and your right hand behind you. So it looks kind of like this. Now from here, we'll lift your right foot up, start to turn your chest to the right, and now straighten your left leg as far forward as you can. Now push into the outer edge of your foot in your hand, and you have the option to reach the right arm back behind you. And the more that you push and the more that you reach, you might feel that broadening across your chest. Take one more breath, sitting tall. And with your breath out, soften the knee of the lifted leg, unwind. Now straighten your right leg forward. Bend your left knee in, take the foot flat. Take your right hand over the ankle to the outside of your left foot. Take the left hand behind you. So you're already starting to turn your body into a twist. Now lift the left foot up. Start to straighten the left leg forward by pushing the heel forward and pulling on the outer edge of your left foot. Sitting tall, you might reach the left arm back, maybe look over your left shoulder. Pressing until you reach and feel that broadening across your chest. And then slowly soften the left knee, place the foot down and unwind your chest. Now take the legs as wide as you can. And this is a moment where it might feel actually really nice in your low back to come and sit up onto a blanket or a towel or a pillow or something. I wouldn't recommend a block, it's probably too high up. Now take the hands alongside your hips, flex the toes, and turn the toes up to the ceiling. Press the heels into the floor, and now take the hands along inside your legs. You might want the block nearby as well. Start to walk your hands forward into forward folds, and this might be your forward fold just a few inches. You might choose to continue to come forward until maybe you can lower onto your forearms, and that's where maybe a block on its highest height would feel really good to rest your head down there on the block. Otherwise, you can let the head just kind of relax down. Keep the breath steady, moving, and the toes moving up towards the ceiling by imagining that you wanted to spin them back behind you. Feeling a pretty deep, intense stretch in the backs of your thighs and the inner thighs. And now slowly start to walk the hands back in towards your body. Take the right hand inside your right leg, palm face forward, just like gate pose, left arm reaches up, and find a side bend over your right leg. Now look under your left armpit to encourage the left shoulder more back. And then drop that left sit bone a little heavier. Take one more breath. And now slowly come all the way back up. Now take the left hand down inside your left leg, reach the right arm up. And find a side bend over your left leg. Look under your right armpit to encourage that right shoulder a little further back. And then breathe here. Ground that right sit bone. And slowly we'll come all the way back up. Take the hands behind the knees and draw them in towards you. And then move off. If you're sitting on something, move off of it. And we'll come to lay down on your back. And when you're on your back, keep the knees bent with the feet flat at first. And now we'll cross the right ankle over your left knee, so there's no space between your thighs here. And then from there, take your arms wide right to left. And you can either wrap the right arm under the left and hold on to your outer shoulders, or you can double wrap the arms, finding eagle arms with the palms touching. Now from here, lift the left foot off of the floor, so now your legs are hovering but still crossed. Now draw the elbows slightly back, take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the elbows towards the knees, crunching the upper back and the head up off the floor, and the elbows and knees touch. Inhale to lower the upper back and the head, maybe straighten the legs while they're crossed a little forward. And as you exhale, round in, curling up. Inhale to open up. And exhale, curling in. Last time, inhale, open. And exhale to round in, squeezing arms and legs together. Now slowly tap the left foot down, upper back down, release the arms. Keep the legs crossed, shift your hips just a little to the left, a little to the right, and let your legs fall to the left. If this feels like too much in your body to have the legs crossed in this twist, then go ahead and uncross them, no worries. Arms can go wide right to left. You can cactus them alongside your body. Holding here for 3 more breaths. In Yin Yoga, this pose is called Twisted Root, which I really like. Now slowly draw the belly button in to bring your legs back up to the ceiling. Shift your hips through neutral and uncross your legs. Cross the left leg over the right, so there's no space between your thighs. Cross the left arm under the right, so the left arm is closest to your left thigh, and either hold onto your shoulders or double wrap your arms. Now lift your right foot off of the floor, keeping the legs crossed, and then take a big breath in. Draw the elbows a little towards your nose, lifting them back. And with an exhale, round upper back off the floor, hug the knees in towards your chest. Inhale to open up. And exhale to curl in. 2 more. Inhale, open. Squeeze everything in as you hug and round up. Last time, inhaling. And exhaling, rounding in. Now slowly release the upper back down, release the arms, and keep the legs crossed. Now shift your hips to the left. Let your legs fall to the right, either taking your arms wide or cactusing them on the floor for Twisted Root Twist. Twisted Root Twist. Try to surrender that left shoulder a little heavier down. And now slowly draw the belly button in to bring the legs back through center, uncross the legs. Now bring the legs hips width distance, keeping the knees bent, palms alongside your hips, palms face down. Curl the shoulder blades a little bit underneath you. Press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up for bridge pose. Now you have the option to interlace the hands underneath you to tuck the shoulder blades even more underneath you. Press into your feet and your big toes as you lift the hips higher. Take a big breath in. And with a breath out, slowly tucking the tailbone, try to lower 1 vertebra at a time. Take the feet wide, let the knees knock in. Take 1 hand to the belly, 1 hand to the heart, and hold. Breathe. Now heel toe the feet back to hips width distance. Palms alongside your body. Second set, bridge pose. Tuck the shoulder blades a little bit underneath you. Press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up. Interlace the hands if you'd like again. Tuck the shoulder blades slightly more in underneath you. Press into your big toes as you lift the hips higher. Press into your shoulders to lift the chest higher. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, slowly release the interlace, release the back one vertebra at a time. Take the feet wide, knees knock in. Cactus your arms on the floor and just windshield wiper the legs right and left. Now, if there's any last poses that you would like to take before coming into your final resting pose, feel free to take it. Otherwise, just hug the knees into your chest one last time. If you'd like happy baby and you love that pose, feel free to go ahead and grab the big toes with your peace fingers again. Find any last movements that will serve you before coming into your final meditation. And then when you feel ready, you might set yourself up with some props. Maybe rolling up a blanket or a towel for behind the back of your knees or your neck. And laying back, maybe tucking those shoulder blades a little underneath you so you stay open across your chest. And let your body just sort of pool onto the floor like water. Take a big breath in through your nose, filling all the way up. And part the lips, audible sigh out. Big breath in, filling all the way up. And a sigh out. Last big breath in, fill yourself up all the way to the top. Hold at the top, sip a little bit more in than you think you can. And then exhale into that new lung capacity you just created all the way to the bottom. And normalize your breath. In the book of yoga, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the first sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasana, means now the exposition of yoga. The first word in the whole book, now. So find yourself in the now. Each breath an invitation to come back into this present moment. Nushasanam. Atha Yoga Nushasanam. Atha Yoga Nushasanam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Come back to your breath again, deepening. To wiggle fingers and toes. Rock your head a little side to side. And draw the knees into the chest. Roll over onto one side. And then keeping your head heavy, press yourself up slowly. And make a comfortable seat for yourself, either sitting on a blanket or a block. And then again, take one hand to the low belly and one hand to your heart. Feeling each breath, resting here in this pure consciousness itself. Atha Yoga Nushasanam. Now the exposition of yoga. We move through our physical practice so that we can experience this state of yoga, of being in the now, even when it's uncomfortable. So I invite you, as we take these last few breaths together, to imagine that this yoga practice just set the stage for the rest of your yoga for the rest of your day. Each time you pull yourself out of a spiraling whirlwind of worry, anxiety, or just in general distractedness, and pull yourself back, that in itself is yoga. When you hold your tongue, when you want to make a snarky response, that's yoga. When you compassionately call and reach out to someone you haven't talked to, that is also yoga. So your practice doesn't end here on your mat, but is something that can carry you throughout your day, feeling a little lighter, a little more patient, and a little more present. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. One more breath in, filling all the way up. And as you breathe out, bow the head down to the hands, sealing our practice here. The highest light and divine self inside of me bows before the highest self and divine light inside of you. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you. Such a pleasure to share this practice with you. Again, I've named most of you, I think, Dana and a couple of other people that I just miss so dearly. So just know I'm thinking about you and sending you love, and hopefully we're able to see each other soon. I hope you have the best rest of your day, and namaste, y'all. Thanks for sharing some time here.